Pisces. We are going to do, so just to begin, I usually do a Samhain reading. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween. I usually do this for myself only. Last year I decided to do a reading for the collective, a Wheel of the Year reading for each of the 12 signs, so that you could also see what your year ahead is going to look like, month by month. Check the description box for everything you need to know. I am clairsentient, claircognizant, clairaudient. When I hear ringing in my ears on the left, those are messages from my spirit guides, and when I hear it on the right, those are messages from people I know that have passed on. Please check your rising moon and Venus sign for additional messages. There will be a link in the description box of the video for how you can find out those things by running your natal chart at a place that's really consistent as far as that goes. In addition, it's going to be a really long reading, so there will be timestamps for each part of the reading so that you can jump ahead, because I know that I talk a lot, which is just normal for me. So that's how it's going to go down. Some people will be really, really happy with that, because sometimes it can get really long, you know. So we're going to get straight to it. We're going to start with your songs. And I pick each set of songs. I don't really pick them. That's the cool thing. I pick them based on hitting shuffle. In my Spotify library, I have like 4,400 songs that I've curated over the last 8 years of listening through Spotify to things that I enjoy. And I always do so before a reading that I do online, and it helps me kind of figure out what the messages are going to be. So for you, we have Elevators, the slow version by Outkast. Don't Think Twice, It's Alright by Joan Baez. Still Can't by the Cranberries, My Dark Place Alone by Murder Dolls, and Fought to Fight It by Matt Good. We also had Strangers on a Train while I was just getting set up here by Lovage. I think it was Lovage. I'm pretty sure it's Lovage. But again, I was trying to stick with 5 because I wanted to be fair. So that's what we have for you on that front. I am going to be using, you might notice that I'm shuffling some cards while I'm talking here. They've already been pre-shuffled, but I'm going to do it on camera also. I'm going to be doing an oracle message from the Divine Circus Oracle, and this time around, because it is your Wheel of the Year reading, we're going to be reading from November of 2024 all the way through to October of 2025. I want to make sure that I read from the guidebook so that you can get your message and your theme for the overall year, because Samhain, Halloween, is the marking of the Celtic New Year. And so let's go ahead and let's see for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what your overall oracle message is from the Divine Circus Oracle. There will be an affirmation as well as a healing trick that's involved in these, and so I'm going to pull one. I'm going to cut the deck to do so, and we'll read from the book on that. Knock twice. Knock twice, not 3 times. There's a song called Knock 3 Times, but it's like, no, just knock twice. Don't knock 3 times. It's like once for yes, twice for no. Somebody's saying no to something, or expecting no, or just no. It's just no, right? Anyway, let's see what your message is, Pisces. We have, rare, raw, and real. And this is one of the reasons why I do not allow kids to watch my videos. There's a little baby there. Yeah. Card 42, which is also breaking down to a 6 for you. Then let's go ahead and let's find it. It's time to peel back the layers and unearth the real you. Naked, vulnerable, real, beautiful. With every layer of hiding and protection removed, you'll encounter whatever it was that caused that layer of self-protection to be built up in the first place. Maybe a sense of shame, fear, hate, anger, or doubt. These feelings might seem so confronting that you'll wonder if they are a sign to back off. If you can affirm your love for yourself and a willingness to be patient whilst you become ready to be known and seen and loved for who you are underneath those layers of pain, then you'll find it easier to let them fall away. As this happens, there will be a revelation of a raw, rare, and real you that you didn't even know was there. So pure, so powerful, so precious. The inner light of you will shine through, like a lantern suddenly illuminated with the radiance of you lighting up the dark. Revealing the true you isn't about exhibitionism or putting yourself on display. Someone could walk naked on a beach, completely comfortable with their physical appearance, and yet not be in touch with their true beauty of their soul, their radiance dulled in their authenticity and mystery even to them. The oracle of rare, raw, real comes to you if you are one of those, oh my God, one of those special ones, capable of dropping the defensive posture of perfection, of holding genuine compassion and goodwill towards yourself and others with a willingness to be shown who you are. Rather than reacting with fear to being judged, you choose to treat this revealed self as a precious divine creature to be loved and nurtured into full aliveness. In being brave enough to do this, you help empower others to be their true selves as well, to be less afraid of what makes them different, to embrace their uniqueness and feel the divine dignity that is rightfully ours when we choose to simply be who we are. The healing trick that's involved here is to say aloud, or sing if you wish, "Strange beauty, rare, raw, and real, my authentic self I now reveal." Now you are going to create a truly unique creature in your imagination, and if you're feeling particularly daring, you can act it out too. Say aloud, "I have the wings of freedom." What do your wings look and feel like? Are they heavy or light? Are they powerful? Are they like a butterfly, an angel, a bird, a dragonfly, or an airplane? Can you practice flying with your wings, perhaps by running around the lounge room for a moment in full flight? Say aloud, "I have the heart of courage." What does your heart look and feel like? Does it have a color? Does it have a particular rhythm as it beats? Does it look like a heart, or a lion, or a rampaging river, or a galaxy? Is it a perfect ruby or a massive planet? Say aloud, "I have the feet of an adventurer." Now, what do your feet look like? Are they your human feet, or are they the hooves of a wild brumby? I don't even know what a brumby is. The booted feet of an intrepid explorer, the graceful and strong feet of a ballerina, the bare feet of a dancing gypsy, or the powerful tail of a mermaid. Let your feet move freely in the way they want to move. A gallop of a horse, the dance of a gypsy, the firm steps of an explorer. I just pictured when they were saying that, the Two of Pentacles from the Deviant Moon deck, which we'll talk about. Say aloud, "I have the voice of the soul." What does your voice feel and sound like? Is it like a bold bird call piercing through the air? Is it like the roar of a lion upon the African plain, or the deep sonic resonance of a whale's song in the depths of the ocean? Is it like the crystal-shattering voice of a diva soprano, or the whispering of Mother Nature on the gentle breeze? Perhaps use your voice and let it express its true nature in this moment. What sort of sound does your true soul voice want to express? Say aloud, "I am a creature, unique and proud of all that I am. I am rare, raw, and real, strangely beautiful and beautifully strange. My quirks and oddities, the parts that don't fit neatly in, are part of what makes me special." You have finished your healing trick. And then, of course, there is an affirmation. "Rare, raw, and real, my true self, I gracefully reveal." And there we have it. That's your oracle card. I better put this over here. Now we're gonna do magnetic poetry ahead of the reading as opposed to at the end. Sometimes I think that people don't always see the magnetic poetry. I do it at the end of, all of my readings. I have a gigantic, massive, like so much it doesn't even fit on my fridge. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put it in list form though, because I know that some people believe that when I put it down that I'm kind of, I at least feel that I might be encouraging people to kind of take certain messages from it as opposed to the viewer taking it for what they believe it is. We had something jump out, and so I want to take flow. So flow is actually something that came out on its own that you should probably pay attention to. We have a suffix here as well, that, ly. So we'll just put that there. All right. Now this is where you're more than welcome to pause here and write these down. And of course, I'll just hang out here for a minute so that you can kind of take a look-see. But that's your magnetic poetry, folks. Okay? Beautiful. So now we're going to do our shuffle. During the shuffle, I will be pulling the cards for each of the months, November 2024 through to October of 2025, using the Joie de Vivre Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. Again, the cards have already been pre-shuffled, but for the purposes of the viewer, I'll also shuffle on camera. I will be channeling during the shuffle, but I won't actually be discussing any of the cards until we get to the read, which will be the next timestamp after the one that I just did for the shuffle itself. Miles Away From Here. That's in Fought to Fight It by Matt Good. It's like a breath of fresh air. Okay. Sorry. That was a little bit of a break in the shuffle there in the bridge. Somebody's worried about burning their bridges. This is the house that writes the checks, or this is the something that writes the checks that buys the house. Nice. Okay, and Twist for Fairness. Okay. We have one that's landed. So just so you know, Three of Coins, friendship energy, as well as the symphony of mind, body, and spirit, contracts, offers, partnerships. But ultimately the union of mind, body, and spirit, we'll put that back in the deck. Flippers and jumpers only, maximum of 3. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's start with November 2024. Show us the energy of November 2024. Seeing a picture of somebody washing their feet. Not in that way, like, oh, my feet are disgusting, I need to, but like washing the feet, like the ceremonial washing of feet. I don't normally see things. I normally hear things. I don't normally see things. I don't normally see things. I normally hear stuff instead. I normally hear about things. I don't ever see things myself. I never never see it with my own eyes. I only hear about it. In November for you, the Six of Wands. I'll move it back so you can see it better. Yeah, this deck, for some reason, it doesn't do camera so well in the ring light. December 2024, Pisces. We have 2 that have flipped. Ace of Wands in the reverse with the Magician in the reverse. January 2025. Stop. Stop. Somebody says stop. Like a stop sign, or telling somebody stop now, or this is where you stop. Halt. Like halt. January. Something stops in January. A clock stops in January. Time stands still in January. My time is like a broken watch. I make money like Fred Astaire. That's Take Me on a Cruise, or Take You on a Cruise. Take You on a Cruise by Interpol. We have the Four of Cups in the upright, the Chariot, and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Mind you, that just came to mind right away. We have a full moon in Cancer during January, the beginning of January. February for Pisces. That one shot out. Queen of Swords in the upright. March 2025. Page of Swords. April. I'm a pitbull in time. Oh, card vomit. I'm sorry. Oh, we have one that's stuck. Ace of Wands in the reverse for April. May. May. May for Pisces. You have a lot to say. You have a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that you want to say. It's like you want to tell somebody off, or you have a lot of ranting to do. You have a lot of ranting to do. It's rapid. It's rapid fire. You have a lot to express. Get off your chest. May, especially during May. Yeah, during May especially. Okay. Now, if you watch me regularly, that doesn't happen on its own, you know. Six of Swords in the reverse. I believe that's the Three of Cups. Yeah, Three of Cups in the reverse. June 2025. Okay, flipper. Knight of Cups. July. And you're taking a trip in July. July, I'll be miles from here. The Fool in the reverse. August. Nine of Coins. September 2025. You're talking really fast. You're talking really fast. It's like that rant, that it's like you have a lot to say. You're doing it really quickly. The speech is just rolling off of your tongue. It's like it's got a certain meter to it. You ever hear the words iambic pentameter? It's like if you ever say that really fast, iambic pentameter. It's like the way that you say things is super, super fast. Seven of Wands. In the reverse, by the way, yeah. As you can see. October 2025, finally. October 2025 for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Very rapid speech. Rapid fire. Eight of Cups. Okie dokie, bottom of the deck for you. 2144, okay. It's not a number for you, it's a number for the timestamps. Bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands, surveying the land before making any sudden movements. It's kind of like somebody looking out over the land and plotting their course before they decide to embark upon a journey. The ability to be patient, to patiently wait before striking on something. Here you can see this person has 3 wands. And, you know, this is a whimsical deck, so, I did pick more whimsical decks so that it would be more Halloween-y. But this person is kind of like looking out. They've got their wands there with them. And they're going to gather them up before they go on a journey here. But time is involved. If you see that's a clock down there. They're waiting for that clock to hit a certain point before they go. I think it's really interesting that we also have a pumpkin right there. I'm going to try and get it so you can see it. You see she's got a pumpkin sprouting out of her head. It's a jack-o'-lantern coming out of her head. This is not a Halloween deck. So it's almost like waiting for Halloween, or during Halloween waiting for something to occur, or for the clock to strike a certain time so that something can happen during Halloween. That's the overall energy. But there's patience involved, patiently waiting for something in particular. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get a theme for the year using the Major Arcana, Deviant's Tarot. All it is just Major Arcana archetypes, nothing else. And then we will clarify using the Deviant Moon Tarot, 3 cards each, so that we can kind of, get some context on each of these puppies. Again, we have pre-shuffled everything, but we'll do it again just because it's important to do on camera. For Pisces, what is the energy of the year? The heart of the wheel, the hub of the wheel, if you will. We got 3 for you. You're the only people who've gotten 3 thus far. You have the Devil in the reverse with the Sun. I'm sorry, the Devil in the upright with the Sun in the reverse and the Hierophant in the upright. when I get cards in a series like this, it almost reads as if a story or a sentence. Firstly, we have the devil on this side. It's about being chained. Listen to Chained by the Pixies. Or sorry, it's called Hey by the Pixies. They say chained over and over again at the end. But you see, those two are actually chained. You don't see it there because he's holding on to them instead. But in traditional decks, they're chained together. Must be a devil between us, or whores in my head, whores at the door, whores in my bed. But hey, where have you been? If you go, I will surely die. We're chained. There's something about that. But the devil in and of itself is a call to evaluate where our vices are moving from being slight indulgences to excessive, and where those are moving from indulgence to addiction. To have a firm, sound respect for the things that we build upon the earth that we enjoy. It can be about good food, good wine, good sex, spending, and how to do so without frivolity. In the reverse, it is 100% addiction. It's the negative aspect of it. In the positive, it's being able to harness that power. Capricorn energy on the devil itself. The sun in the middle is, in the reverse, of course, it's still a Leo card, but it's about the spotlight burning us, or about wishes not being granted, feeling as if in a dark place. My dark place alone. The lights are on, but there's no one home. It's interesting. But the sun is about wishes not being granted. It is the no card in the tarot. It's about hearing no, rejection. It's about sadness. It's about darkness. Not being able to shed light on things. The time for gestation before the seed sprouts and breaks through the soil. It isn't necessarily always a bad thing to take the time to be the seed that hasn't yet to break through the soil. But at this time, you're not necessarily seeing your wishes granted. You're not having your time in the sun. You're not feeling that warm, fuzzy feeling. It can also be about the heat that scorches rather than warms. And following that, we have the Hierophant in the upright, Taurus energy. Permission versus not permission. In this one, we have the Hierophant granting permission. The Hierophant is a card that sometimes signifies marriage. And here you can see there are two individuals that he's blessing or ordaining a union in between. However, because we're not dealing with a large, vast majority of cards surrounding it, and it isn't in the reverse like the sun is, what we're seeing here is we're seeing philosophies of a higher order, religious organizations, institutions that have structures in place that bind people, belief systems and philosophies that sometimes personify a sense of dogma. In addition to that, it's also about sage advice, counselors, holy men, people who bring people to spirituality, in a sense. If you look, we have the devil and a man of God, and in between them is the sun in the reverse. So it's almost like we have heaven and hell and the sun in the reverse. I think that's also interesting to realize there. I feel there's a period of gestation here where one is evaluating where their indulgences and vices and issues with not respecting temptation have led them to a place where they haven't seen their greatest wish fulfillment, or where they're not experiencing the warmth by incubus. Don't let the world bring you down. Not everyone here is that fucked up and cold. Remember why you're here, and while you're alive, experience the warmth before you grow cold. And then we have the Hierophant on the other side of that, who offers routine, structure, philosophy. Sometimes this can be considered working for the man, but we don't have pentacles all around it, right? Is it gaining permission from somebody to believe in something of a higher order, whether it be commitment or spirituality? But it's understanding that there is a higher order here, something of a higher order here, something that can be blessed. And if we could clarify that, we would, but I'm not going to. It's your theme for your year. It's ultimately a lesson about the need to go within and take the time out of activity to understand where the past decisions have led you to the present, so that you can move into the future with wisdom. Thank you, wisdom. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's clarify with your Deviant Moon Tarot here. We'll go through each of the cards like I'd already said. 3 cards each, unless we get some crazy ass jumpers and stuff. I think if we were to add any context to this, it would be about the union of mind, body, and spirit with that 3 of Pentacles that jumped during the shuffle. I did put it back in the deck just in case, but that union of mind, body, and spirit. Because the Devil is about the mind, the body. And the Hierophant is about the spirit. You know? Is there something that's off in between that union, perhaps? And there could be somebody who's living in their body a lot, the physical plane a lot, and not seeing their greatest wish fulfillment come to reality, just living in the physical form. You might need to nurture their emotional and their spiritual side a lot more, or their intellect a lot more. And it could be different. It could be the alternative, which could be that somebody is living more in the spiritual realm and connected far too much with the emotional and spiritual aspect of the self, and not in their body enough, you know? Like that idea that, Come Down by Bush, which talks about how somebody doesn't want to come back down from that cloud, right? They just don't want to. They just want to sit up there and just like their head is in the clouds, but their feet are not on the ground, right? And so it's like, yeah, because I mean, everything has a lot of meaning. The symbolism is massive in spirituality and emotionality, but if you're not firmly grounded, you can lose yourself in that, you know? So it's making sure that there's a perfect symphony of all 3 aspects of the self. The mental, physical, and emotional, or spiritual, you know? And that we're not neglecting one in favor of the others. Because that's when you get really, really nuts about some stuff. You know, fitness buffs, the fitness buff who injures themselves, or the spiritualist who just doesn't really have a foot in reality. People who are over emotional and they just got this victimhood mindset about everything because like they end up with that shitty life syndrome where everything's going wrong all the time and all they're doing is just self-pitying or crying all the time or over emotional all the time. Everything means something to them and they're just like, it's, balance in all things, right? Looking at November 2024 though, because we do have to get moving, although you were like really quick on your shuffle. November 2024 we see the Six of Wands in the reverse, and I'm only going to shuffle once more and then we'll get going. Six of Wands in the reverse is a card typically in the upright, and especially when we have the Rider-Waite version, it's illustrated the best. It's somebody riding in on their horse following a battle, and all of the townspeople are gathered around and they're applauding them while they're flying their victory flag super high, It's about triumph. It's a card of achievement and recognition for achievement, victory, And during November, this signifies somebody who's shying away from the spotlight, shying away from performance, also, and feeling like they lost at something, or feeling there's like a feeling of defeat. I'm also, in this card in particular, I'm drawn to the suits of cards on this lady's skirt. Somebody could have lost during gambling and they're like really feeling destitute, but the wands aren't typically about that. Wands are normally about creative endeavors and projects and passionate beginnings and inspiration. And somebody feels like they lost their inspiration or their triumph or their success, or they don't feel they have anything to offer in terms of new ideas, or they feel uninspired. There's also an element here of hiding. And the reason I say that is because there's that devil again, and it landed on the devil. Ooh. Somebody doesn't feel proud of their achievements during November because they're hiding away. This is somebody who's tap dancing with a freaking top hat in front of an audience. And in the reverse, it's somebody who doesn't want an audience. They don't want people to see. They feel embarrassed. They feel, embarrassed, like their achievements aren't enough, or like they haven't achieved anything. Card that flew out and it landed on top of the devil is the devil. Capricorn energy here. You could have Capricorn in your chart. You could feel that you're not materialistic enough, or like you're not spending enough, or as if you're so let's talk about, this is my card because I'm a Capricorn sun. I have 3 planets and a stellium. I have 3 planets in my midheaven in Capricorn. So somebody isn't ambitious enough. Somebody isn't determined enough. Somebody doesn't have enough money. Somebody doesn't work hard enough. Somebody isn't greedy enough. Somebody isn't tempting enough. Somebody isn't sexy enough. Somebody isn't isn't a great cook, doesn't drink, doesn't go out, doesn't celebrate things, isn't social, isn't, doesn't touch the darker side of indulgence. They don't feel that they have that edginess to offer. They don't feel they would be tempting. They, during November, if I was to put that context on it, right? Because remember, the devil is good food, good sex, the things we build upon the earth, the things that come of the earth that we have to keep in check, or they can, the really bad things that feel really good, that's what the devil is. And in the upright, it's about recognizing the need to respect those things and keep them in check. You can play around with them, but you got to keep them in check, or they become that evil, badass, tempting, terrible addiction type thing. Shopaholicism, gambling, drug habits, alcoholicism, workaholicism, sex addiction. I don't think there's can be such a thing. I'm not laughing. I personally don't think you can have too much of a good thing. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm sorry. I'm a Capricorn. So, named Satan. Nice to meet you. Anyway, I guess that's maybe the thing. Is that maybe somebody just doesn't feel that they kind of exude that. So they kind of feel like, like they've lost out, or they've, help me out here. Yeah, okay, let's put more cards on it. I can't keep talking about it, because I could do this for everything, right? It's hard in the context of some of these, because that Six of Wands in the reverse is like somebody shying away from the spotlight. Somebody is ashamed of themselves. They don't want to be up in front of people showing off what they got. They're not proud of what they have. And the things they are proud of, they feel like they don't measure up in some way, or they don't feel like they've won. That's a lack of triumph and victory. Excuse me. Holding out my metric, holding out. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. I was going to grab it in the upright, but I grabbed it in the reverse instead. Yeah, so somebody is feeling like they don't have any progress. There is no forward progress. And keep in mind, Virgo energy, by the way. So something during Virgo season might have spurned this on. So that would have been mid-August to mid-September. But it could have been during Virgo season that it's something that spurned this feeling. But Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is oftentimes somebody who feels like everything's kind of ground to a halt. As far as their ability to take action from a material perspective. They don't have anything material to offer in a certain way. A Knight of Pentacles in the upright, of course, also slowest moving knight in the deck. It's strategic, methodical, slow moving, yet forward progress. It's traveling towards you here. It's coming out from you here, but because it's in the reverse, it's no action. It's inaction. At its finest, it's stalemate energy. Analytical also, though, because of the Virgo-ness of it, being calculated and analytical and overthinking it. Overthinking it kind of puts somebody in stalemate energy. Fuck, man. Yeah, you got a Capricorn in your chart? Feminine Capricorn energy on this. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. This is the... And especially since we have the devil there, this is the woman who takes a house. The house with the walls and the paint and the wood and the shingles and all the shit, and makes it into a home. They're the one who comes in the house after work with the paycheck that gives the candles, turns on the heat and makes it warm in the house, cooks the good meal, pours the glass of wine, turns on the music, puts on the comfortable throw on the couch, which, by the way, probably has amazing fabric that's just comfortable. It's just the comfort and luxury of the home space. Somebody who creates a home out of a house. Somebody who's ambitious. Somebody who, cares about luxury and finery. The finer things in life, of course. But it's more because they have the ability to provide them through their determination. Through their ability to climb towards what they seek, you know? And interestingly enough, you can see here, this is somebody who a lot of people rely on. So she's like almost forlornly looking down at that pentacle. It doesn't have to be a woman, by the way. Feminine energy is not always a female. So flip the script where you need to. But this is an individual who's looking forlornly at that pentacle. They're looking down at that pentacle, and they've got all these people around them who rely on them. And there's a halt here. So you either have Capricorn in your chart, or you're dealing with somebody with Capricorn in their chart. This could also be on the work front, because we do have a lot of pentacles there. Overworking to the point of exhaustion. Feeling as if there's a lack of victory or achievement or recognition for your hard work. You don't have the ability to get promoted, perhaps. Indulgence could be involved in that, or just overworking to the point of exhaustion has gotten you to a point where you cannot achieve more. Like you've hit a wall. During December, we have 2 cards for December. Where did my other card go that was here? Did I take... Well, I guess it was, there are only happy accidents here. I thought that I had a card jump for April, or that's stuck on the table for April. It didn't. I took December and I put one of the cards for December down here. There's going to be a revisiting of energy from December and April. Let's just put it that way. Magician in the reverse, Gemini energy. This is a trickster. Trickster by Radiohead. Gemini energy, but it's illusion. Somebody is either creating illusions in front of your eyes, tricking you into believing something is true that isn't, or you might be doing this. It's somebody who is not connected with the self and therefore cannot master the elements, harness the power of the elements to enact things in the physical plane. They can't create magic. They can't create something out of nothing because they cannot master the self. They're too busy being disconnected from themselves to... They don't have a relationship with themselves. They're too busy creating illusions, putting up a front for other people. Excuse me. It's also Virgo energy. You could have Virgo in your chart because you had Virgo over here too. Mercury rules this card also. There's actually a Mercury symbol on this right there, if you see in the corner. The goblet. I think that we have Mercury going retrograde in November until December. There could be an inability to communicate effectively, travel delays, technology glitches, that kind of thing. I think it's more about technology glitches and communication issues as opposed to travel delays. Sometimes there's travel delays, but I think it's a lot of the time about communication issues. I did work for a telecom company for so long that every time there was a Mercury retrograde, shit would just go sideways with technology and communication. But coincidentally, let's find out. Yeah, there's that fast talking. Coincidentally, you know, like it's a big thing. You're telling somebody off. You shouldn't, if that happens during December, careful. Especially with getting together with people that you don't normally see, that you might not necessarily have as tight of a relationship with, but you know you're going to have to see them because it's the holidays. Be careful with that. Miles away from here. Magician. You got these jumpers, hey? Judgment in the reverse. Lack of decision making. Somebody can't make a decision on somebody else, or not quite sure that trumpeter's call is not happening. Again, so we have Aries, Sagittarius energy here, but it's because they think somebody's putting up a front. It's like someone's kind of like sitting back and watching the show, and they're like, I can't quite tell who you are. And I don't think you even know who you are. So I'm not going to choose a direction to travel on down the figurative road with you. In fact, I don't even know that I want you to be in, in the stagecoach or on the horse behind the stagecoach even, It's an inability to choose. It's also just not even feeling it, right? Not even feeling there's no motivation to choose somebody based on their inauthenticity. How's more? There's the sun in the upright. In the upright, we have the sun. Shedding light on a situation. Leo energy here, but it's also a wish being granted. Something more immediate, not one of those like, oh my God, I've been waiting for this for so long, and this was something that I've always wanted to happen my entire life. No, it's not one of those. It's one of those kinds of wishes that's like, I'm so happy, wow, that's great, but it's like something that brings delight, but it's not one of those things like that you've been waiting for your entire life. You could be seeing yourself kind of up in the spotlight a little bit. Leos love being in the spotlight, and you're not a Leo. You're Pisces. We're talking to Pisces, but because this is a Leo card, could be the case. There's a feeling of warmth and joy here that you're rather enjoying. Maybe that might be why you're not moving on a decision with somebody so much. And it's like, I'm looking over here. Why am I looking over here when I normally look over here? When I'm doing a lot of stuff? I don't know. But I'm looking over here. And it's like you're looking at somebody and you can tell that they're, taking the piss, for lack of a better term. And you don't want to make a decision about them because you're not quite sure who they are, but they make you feel pretty damn good about yourself. I pay attention to you. It's like during December you're saying that you don't necessarily know how authentic this person is being, and you think that they're a liar or a cheater or a fake or something, and you don't necessarily want to make a decision about them, but they sure made you feel good about yourself, or like there was a wish fulfillment attached to them. You're thinking about this during December, or it's something that's happening during December. And then just as quickly as it happened, you either feel left out in the cold, or you're leaving somebody feeling left out in the cold. It's a feeling rather than a reality, because as we all know, churches are places of sanctuary, and therefore, at least in old times, they didn't lock the doors on churches. And in fact, in third world countries, a lot of the time they still don't lock the doors on churches, drawers. Somebody has a locked drawer that they're leaving unlocked to see if somebody will steal from them. That's interesting. Anyway, see, because there's somebody, and that's funny that I said that too, because look, somebody's watching somebody else to see how they're acting while they feel like they've been left out in the cold. This is the only card that depicts the Five of Pentacles that has that. But it's interesting, isn't it? It's like they're watching to see how they act when they should be feeling destitute. Huh. Don't know if that's you or if it's somebody else. But somebody's kind of sitting back and observing to see how somebody acts when they feel like they've been left out in the cold. If it's you who feels left out in the cold, remember, it's a feeling rather than a reality. Like I said, exercise self-empowerment, because you have the ability to warm yourself at any point. You have the ability to let yourself in at any point. This is where we heard the word halt or stop. Actually, it was during January. If you don't mind, I'm just going to get myself some water because I'm a little thirsty, and I've been at the office all day and I'm a little tired, so 2 seconds. Okay, yes, all right. So here in January was that word that we had the stop, you know. And I did also say something about the chariot, because the chariot is Cancer. It rules Cancer. But we have a Cancer full moon at the beginning of January. It's always on my birthday, you know, so Cancer full moon. Usually on my birthday. Last year it was. Anyway, or no, the year before? Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can look up when the Cancer full moon is. I don't know. I'll have to take a look and see. I haven't looked this year. We have the 4 of Cups in the upright, Chariot in the upright, with the Knight of Swords in the reverse. I don't think you have any Knights in the upright, do you? You do. You have the Knight of Cups in the upright. Anyway, during January, you're feeling like there's a feeling of abandonment, grief, loss, depression. You see how this guy has his head locked in a cement box? He's ignoring all these cups, all of the emotional options that are being presented to him. And one of those, typically not in this deck, but typically is being extended to him by the universe. But he doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. Because he's depressed. He does not care. He's got this lackadaisical feeling. He's focused on himself and his own feelings at this moment in time. He's also got his hands clasped over his heart. He's protecting his heart. He doesn't want to deal with any of this, right? So the options are there. He refuses to see them. He's ignoring them purposely, right? With that, you have the Chariot in the upright, which is movement forward. Sometimes it's considered, I consider this my relocation card, like my change of address card, but it's also considered a travel card, and just in general movement forward. Again, I sometimes, because I'm ruled by time, oftentimes when I do a reading, I will find cards and I will actually know that they are supposed to be timings. This is the beginning. There's something significant at the first week of January. Not New Year's. Okay, guys? It's not New Year's, I promise you. It's going to be full moon in Cancer. So, often that is in the neighborhood of January 6th. So you'll see there where that is. I think it's a timing card. I don't think it's about a change of address, but it could be. It could be. Especially because the moon will be waxing to full about that time if you were going to be changing address, right? On January 1st, you could be moving into a new place, but I highly doubt it. Nobody ever moves house on New Year's. That's just like a nightmare time to move. There's like no places to move into. But Knight of Swords in the reverse, somebody's avoiding impulsivity. They're trying to sit on their hands and avoid impulsive energy, Knight of impulsive action towards something. This is coming from you. No, it's towards you. Things that go this way are towards you. When Knights face the other way, they're coming from you. This guy is trying to avoid impulsive action towards you. Remember, Knights are action cards, so when they're in the reverse, it's inaction or slowed action with this one, because it's about impulsivity. That guy's kind of normally a very irresponsible guy who's running around lopping people's heads off with the sword. Gemini energy. I think I already said that. But in the reverse, he's trying not to be that careless, impulsive guy, right? So that's the thing, and that's interesting that it's like the word stop was there, because it's like somebody's trying not to be impulsive, and they might actually go to take impulsive action on something that's going to be like, stop, wait. You know what I mean? Let's hear more about January from the Deviant Moon. January for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is going to be a long-ass reading. The four walls of the home, or the four posts of the marriage bed, hand fasting energy in the reverse. So there's instability in a home space here. Somebody could be moving addresses, changing addresses because of instability in a home space. It's been bringing about a feeling of abandonment, grief, loss, depression with that Four of Cups. A home could be reminding somebody of the breakup of a very serious relationship, or how the home wasn't stable and secure. This could also be about the security of a home, because we're dealing with the Knight of Swords in the reverse and the Chariot there. Somebody could actually be relocating as a way of protecting themselves because their home space doesn't feel secure. Moving forward from something because it's like it just they're trying to offer themselves more stability in a home space. And else, January could also be that you're evaluating your options in terms of that. We'll have to see. But security is important for you during January. Queen of Wands energy. This is Aries energy. Often this is about a nurturing feminine Aries leadership energy. Somebody who's extremely confident. Like I said, nurturing, loves animals. They can anger easily, but because it's in the upright, it's about somebody who is a leader. Somebody who takes charge of a situation and leads from a space of control, but like self-control, like a confident, firm-handed leader, rather than somebody who leads through fear. It's somebody who understands the nature of being the fire that warms rather than the fire that burns. They're dominant, not domineering. You're looking for a home space that is secure, stable, warm, and nurturing, secure, instills confidence. Could be taking the lead on something. You could be a Pisces, Aries cusp individual. So somebody born midpoint of March. Tell us more. Trying to keep your temper. Try not to lose your temper. Because the home space doesn't seem stable and secure. I'm trying to move forward from that. Yeah, you're trying to heal that depression, that feeling of abandonment, grief, and loss. You have faith that if you follow a formula or a plan, that Four of Cups will eventually, you'll come out of that energy. That feeling of, for lack of a better term, not giving a shit. That you have cups of wine. And just being like, oh, fuck it, I don't care. So I've got cups of wine. What's another cup of wine? I'll just throw it over the side of the castle. Who gives a shit? You know? And not in terms of, oh, it's just wine. But it's like the taking things for granted that people often do when they're depressed. They don't care. It's like a loss of interest, lack of interest. That people talk about in depressed individuals, people who they just don't have any interest in anything, even the things that they used to. They just don't care anymore about anything. It's like if you ever talk to somebody who's really upset and you're worried about them, you're like, you don't even care about the things you used to care about anymore. And I don't mean like frivolous things. Like, please don't take this whole thing about the wine literally. It's imagery, right? Symbolism. But you're trying to get away from the feeling. You feel like if you had to change your scenery, at least in your home space, that you could come out of that feeling. It's either an idea that sparks within you during January, or it's something, or a decision that you make during January, during the full moon in particular, or it's a feeling that, or it's you're actually doing it during January. During February, you're attempting to achieve balance, Queen of Swords energy, justice, equilibrium, balance, truth, fairness. I think I already said this is ruled by Libra. Told you to kick back and relax. This was going to be a long one. The key. Yeah, you might be moving house. Might be moving next to a courthouse. I might be dealing with legal items during February. If you were moving house, you actually might be buying a house, not renting a house. Sorry, guys. I rent. I'm sorry. Bad decisions back in my early days. I just rent. You know what I mean? But you could be buying a house. And you could be dealing with legal paperwork. There's the key holder. The person with the legal paperwork that you're going to have to do. And there's the key. Tell me more, February. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. By the way, I'm a Pisces. Like, my Venus is in Pisces. So, not that. Even, I don't normally pay attention to that. I pay attention to Sun, Moon, and Rising. But, tell us about this. Did we have a flipper? I keep on thinking there's a flipper in here. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet. There it is. I told you there was. I'm sorry. The High Priestess. Their secrets, intuition. Follow your intuition. Yeah. Okay. You might be keeping secrets. Somebody could be keeping a secret from you. So look at your legal paperwork, eh? Look at your legal paperwork. If you're buying a house or you're going over, contracts, negotiations, that kind of thing, to make sure they're fair. Maybe you might want to talk to a lawyer. Although Queen of Swords isn't normally a lawyer, that's normally King of Swords. You might want to. You might actually have an inkling that there's something up with the place. So before you close, get an inspection done. If you're doing house hunting, there's something that doesn't feel right to you, follow your intuition. The High Priestess is about intuition, secrets, the things that are kept hidden, occult knowledge, that kind of a thing. So watch that. Oh, hey, by the way, this is also your card, Pisces. It's one of your cards. So you're actually highly intuitive anyway, but let's see what else. Let's see what else. How long is this running? Oh my god, I gotta haul ass. Only on March. Empress in the reverse. Pisces. This is Taurus, Libra. You got Libra here. There's definitely something that doesn't seem fair, just, equal, balanced in something. Legal paperwork, I'm gonna say. Empress in the reverse is Taurus, Libra energy. this is an invitation for you to connect. Well, it's actually indicative of a lack of connection with the earth. During February, you might need to go out into nature, connect with the earth. There's a feeling of a lack of inspiration that comes with the Empress. It's the Earth Mother, and the Earth Mother is in the reverse. There's an interesting story that you should probably read about Demeter and Persephone. She descends into the underworld with Hades. In fact, I think Hades kidnaps her, and Demeter is very upset, and that's why winter exists. But then she strikes a deal that she'll go down with Hades a certain amount of time of the year, and she actually becomes queen of the underworld. And she, of course, that's why winter exists, is because during the time when Persephone descends into the underworld, Demeter mourns her by, fall and winter happening. Yeah, so it's the dead of winter. It's the dead of winter. The dead of winter, and something isn't right with a contractor. There's deception. I can hear somebody saying like they're pissed off because something isn't right with something when they get the keys, and they're like, it's the dead of winter. What am I supposed to do? There's a connectedness with the earth there, though. They're being planted firmly in one's being grounded and connected with the earth. It needs to happen. There's also there's somebody around you, Taurus or Libra individual, who's not a very nurturing individual. They don't have that motherly energy. Or they're not something that isn't very feminine. I can't get it. 2, 3, 2, 3, 11, 2, 3, 11 to 3, 11 to 3 in the daytime, or November 23rd, March. See, this is 2, 3, 2, 3, February 3rd, in between February 3rd and March 2nd, March 11th, February 11th. See, there's that timing thing again, guys. Tell me more. What else for February? The Ace of Swords, the truth. Somebody wants the truth. Somebody knows a secret and they are demanding the truth. They know there's a secret. They intuitively know there's a secret. They're demanding the truth. I see that as Libra energy. Other people see it as Aquarius energy, but it's Athena's sword. So why wouldn't it be? That's just me. That's just my insight. That's my thoughts, right? I'm demanding the truth. What is the truth? What is the truth? There's all 3 pentacles in the upright. The division or the union of mind, body, and spirit. Contracts, offers, negotiations, partnerships, friendships. You have friendship. The union of 3. The third. The third. Is it the second or the third? Anyway, I gotta move on, guys. During March, March. In the Page of Swords, somebody's watching somebody else for the purposes of learning. There could also be swift communication, impulsive communication, careless communication. This is somebody with a silver tongue. This is also somebody who's ready to lob somebody's head off with that sword. And they're very mischievous about it. This could also be air sign children. Let's take a look here. Pages can be children, right? Tell me more. I got it. Okay, the Chariot. Change of address. Again, movement forward, communicating a small offer, earth sign children, or communicating something small, peace offering, timepiece, if for what it's worth, something that's tangible, communicating something that is like I said, tangible, something that somebody can bank on. Yeah, being on the verge of victory, although also feeling like they're defeated with that Nine of Wands. It's like the Nine of Wands I always like to think of as somebody who's pushing a boulder up a hill and they're about to crest the hill, but they're so effing tired they just want to give up. And there's that movement forward, travel, change of address, communication that somebody can bank on. It's impulsive and quick. It comes in very quick. Or somebody's watching. April splits the energy of December. So that's an interesting, weird thing there. I gotta take a minute for a break, you guys. I gotta get some more like water and stuff like that. I just literally went out and got a sip of water and came back in, but we're already like an hour and some minutes. And I know that I've still got another half hour to go, so bear with me. Yeah, full transparency, I ate dinner and I got changed into my pajamas because I've been tired. Anyway, okay. April is split energy with December because this was initially a card for December, but somehow I missed that I took it for April. Ace of Wands in the reverse. It's a lack of inspiration. It's normally considered a phallic symbol, but also I call it the matchstick of the divine. So it is about inspiration, normally in the upright, but here it's a lack of inspiration, a lack of creative drive, a lack of beginning of a creative venture. So let's see why during April you're encountering this. And by the way, I'm shuffling backwards, which is interesting. For April, tell us more about why this is the case. Okay. There's a feeling of treachery or precariously perching, like something that you're precariously handling, like tricking, like playing, like not playing tricks, but like trying to pull something off without a hitch, like sword swallowing. Traditionally in the Rider-Waite, it's and a lot of readers will point this out, that the Seven of Swords is somebody who's sneaking away from a soldier's camp with all of the swords on their back in the night. Thievery, trying to pull something off while other people aren't looking. It's almost like you're trying to kind of hide away while you feel a lack of creativity during April, or trying to keep from other people's awareness or somebody else's that there is something that's not beginning, or that there's a lack of inspiration or creative new beginning, or that a project isn't kind of getting its getting off the ground. Yeah. Passionate communication, a lack of passionate communication, fire sign children, but a lack of passionate communication. Feeling as if a lack of inspiration is because somebody's trying to hide something or do something behind other people's backs. And so there can be no strike of the matchstick of the divine. That this, there is no inspired communication, creative communication coming forward. Tell me more. And actually somebody is attempting not to communicate passionately, because if they do, they feel like they would be on thin ice with someone else. Like it would be like they'd be pulling off stunts, like they'd be showing off or doing some type of stunt work or something. Like it'd be an act, like a circus act. And they would appear dishonest. So it's like a domino effect. Tell me more for April. It's putting somebody at an impasse. It's also traditionally somebody who has a blindfold on. They're not moving. There's stalemate energy here. Someone feeling stuck. Interestingly enough, this one almost flipped out of the deck anyway. The first time around there. Somebody is locking off their heart space, or the reason this creative endeavor is not getting off the ground, or this passionate communication also isn't starting, is because there's a feeling of dishonesty, and somebody is feeling like somebody else isn't protecting their heart space adequately, or isn't emotionally mature enough to handle the situation. Isn't secure in their emotionality. All right. May. What was it? There was something I said about May. I can't remember now. It was during the shuffle. I said something about May. But May is 6 of Swords with the 3 of Cups, and they're both in the reverse. 6 of Swords in the reverse. 3 of Cups in the reverse. 6 of Swords in the reverse is inability to move forward. It's almost like that 2 of Swords. Like somebody's at an impasse, you know. But it's also an inability to move on, an inability to move forward. There's a trip over water that isn't happening. It could also be that somebody isn't willing to move on from a situation that's not healthy for them. And here we have, this is what I consider gossip energy. 3 of Cups is normally celebration, bridal party, baby shower, bridal shower, bachelorette party, bachelor party. Just a gathering of people having fun, shooting the shit. But in the reverse, it's 3 sisters, 3 women getting together and gossiping about something. Could very well be this inability to move on from something, or the fact that somebody isn't going on a trip or traveling. Somebody is talking about that. 3 women are getting together and talking about it. It's almost like, well, did you hear? Da, 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 da. Oh, it's because this, and this. You know? Tell us more. Shuffling forward now. Interesting. That's card vomit. Oh, but one did stick. Yeah, because somebody's waiting for the fruits of their labor to, you know, come to fruition, for lack of a better term. Somebody is waiting for all of the seeds that they planted to turn into fruit. They're attempting to nurture their investments, waiting for the low-hanging fruit to actually become fruit, you know, so that it's right for the plucking. It's that waiting period where the seed is turning into bloom, and then the bloom is turning into bud, and the bud is turning into, you know, fruit. And putting in the appropriate level of effort and energy so that that can actually become sustainable in the future. Tell us more. What else? I think that's why somebody isn't moving forward with something. why they aren't traveling during May. What else? Lots more. Yeah, and then they're going to be working hard towards something, honing their craft, apprenticeship energy here, either learning a new skill or honing a skill so that they can master it, or teaching somebody else how to master a skill, but working hard nonetheless. So we actually have two things in series here, because we have the 7 and then we have the 8. So it's somebody who's putting in the appropriate level of investment and then working hard on those investments to bring something into focus in the material plane, to bring something into existence on the material plane, rather, through hard work. What else? And you know, you could have people that are gossiping about the fact that you're working so much during May. Like, that could actually be going, oh, well, you know, this person didn't travel and they're working their balls off, so they must definitely be having money problems, or blah, blah, blah. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? You know, it just becomes like a whole shit show when women start doing that. When women start doing that. Tell me more. For May. Is there anything else for May? Sorry guys, I'm starting to watch Black Mirror. I watched like a couple of episodes of season 4 like a couple of years ago, and I decided for Halloween that I was going to binge watch the whole thing, the whole series, and I'm tired, and I'd like to move on. My ears are burning. Yeah, people are talking about you. I just can't sit here forever shuffling cards with things not coming out. Although you were very efficient for the most part. What else? Oh, yeah, Strength card. It's going to make you angry. Yeah, this is Leo energy. Could be dealing with a Leo. This is also about, classically about taming the inner beast. Normally it's a man wrestling a lion. But it's about taming the inner beast of passion, anger, pride. And so it's a reminder to keep your temper and your wits about you when this is happening. It's also about bravery. Bravery in the face of people talking crap because of these kinds of things happening. You know, you can't let people who have nothing better to do but sit on their ass flapping their gums talk shit about somebody who's willing to put the effort and the energy into building something on the tangible plane. Because when they're doing this, do you think, are they building anything on the tangible plane, or are they just talking shit? You know? And they are just words. You know? No matter how angry they get you, they're, you know, they're words. Right? And it's just, I think maybe the frustrating thing is that the people who might be doing all the talking are maybe individuals who have no idea what it's like to work hard. You know, they probably never put in an honest day's work in their entire life. It's easy to sit back. You know, the quote, it's Theodore Roosevelt quote about daring greatly. It's one of the books by Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. But the quote that the book is named after, it talks about not paying attention to the people in the cheap seats, because the people in the cheap seats, you know, like, they're the fucking peanut gallery. The peanut gallery are always there. talking shit about everybody else, but they're not in the arena. They're not doing the thing, you know? I'm not extremely eloquent right now about it, but they're sitting there popping peanuts in their mouths, talking shit about everybody else who's in the arena, bleeding, sweating, struggling, and working hard. Going, oh, well, did you hear this person couldn't go to this thing, and they couldn't travel here, and they couldn't this, and yeah, because it's called fucking commitment, right? It's called ambition. It's called hard work, you know? It's easy to sit there and judge other people. You know, the people who judge other people the most and criticize people the most are the people who, you know, it's like a shitty attitude to have, because they expect other people criticize them. They have a low opinion of themselves, and that's why they criticize others. But it's also extremely easy to sit there and criticize other people if you hadn't walked a mile in their shoes, if you have no clue what it's like, and if you take things for granted also, right? I don't know, is what it is. I have a really hard time stomaching the fact that that Three of Cups in the reverse is there, and having clarified it, we've got hard work, dedication, and planting seeds attached to that. Somebody's trying to lay a firm foundation, and they're trying to create stepping stones for themselves. They're paving their way towards their self-reliance, their independence, and a path to their legacy. Something that will exist when they no longer do. And for people to talk shit about that is kind of lame. It's more than lame, it's enraging, you know. Anyway, June, we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is, it's Piscean energy. All the Knights are mutable signs. Piscean energy, traditionally, before I learned more about the signs associated with each of the court cards and the minor arcana as I got older. The Knight of Cups is what's something I used to associate with Cancerian energy, which, because of that, we're looking at the latter half from June 21st onwards of June. But there's also a love letter, potentially. Sweet messages. You see how the bird there, see how the bird has a letter in its beak? This is poeticism, the height of romanticism, knight in shining armor energy, rescuer energy. There we go. You're trying to be efficient for me because you know I'm getting less eloquent as I go. And there's dichotomous energy associated with this. And somebody who goes within to learn a deeper truth. Yeah. Somebody's letting go of something without Four of Pentacles in the reverse. They'd protected and held their monetary, energetic, or spiritual resources, held them super close to their chest for quite some time. And they're learning to let go of that, learning to be more generous with that, learning to be less miserly with those energies. At the same time, there's dichotomy that's happening here. This is not about two different people in the Two of Pentacles. It's about dichotomous energy, the ambivalence of two different energies. Ambiguity. It's ambiguity, and when we're ambiguous with the universe is ambiguous with us. But this person is it's you, but when I hear it, it's like that person. They. It's somebody who is being more generous with their monetary, energetic, or spiritual resources, no longer holding them close to their chest. However, there is dichotomous energy there. They still have a natural instinct to hold those things close to them. Time, the test of time, time will tell. That's something else that is huge here, because we have that a pocket watch that that person is holding in their teeth. But they have the dichotomous energy of wanting to still clutch those things close to their chest, yet they also want to embody this. They also want to be romantic, poetic, musical, the rescuer, that knight in shining armor, that person who is deeply expressive. But just as that person is deeply expressive, the minute that somebody grabs a hold of them, they just want to go right under the surface and dive deep in the waters where they can no longer be touched, where they can protect themselves. You know, there's a feeling of shyness here with these two. They can take it or leave it because they understand that as much as they want to be more generous with their energy, with themselves, with their time, all of that, at the same time they also know that it was so much easier and safer to do the opposite, right? So it's time to go within the cave of self-discovery. You could have Virgo in your chart, but we've seen this in a couple of different cards here. You could have Virgo in your chart because this is going within the cave of self-discovery in order to learn a deep personal truth. Isolation in order to have a conversation with the self about something not to do with this in particular. What it is you want, what it is that's right for you, what feels right, how much of yourself you should give, who is worthy of that, and when to yield, like when to give of your heart space, and when to hold back, when it is appropriate to do so. And going into that cave, that person has to go and they have to evaluate for themselves the sides of themselves that may not necessarily be super attractive, might be deep, dark, and ugly, but they will emerge from that cave eventually with a singular truth about who they are, you know? In July, there is travel in July. I remember saying that during the shuffle. It's got to do with you're playing it safe, though. You're either playing it safe or there's a message here about not taking risks, not being too adventurous. You might not be venturing too far from home, miles away from here. That's what came up. Thank you. But at the same time, you're not trying to be too adventurous. You're not trying to take too many risks. This is Aries energy in the reverse. The Fool is classically the depiction of the human and how they traverse all of the lessons in the major arcana through all of its archetypes. And that's why they're 0, right? One sec. Okay. You don't want to take too many risks because you're also attempting to heal something. There's pain and loss associated with this. You could be traveling to heal something that's super... Does this look like a happy card to you? You could be attempting not to risk too much because you're afraid, fear here as well. But this is more about pain. Could be you're traveling because of sickness, or because somebody else is sick, or because you need to heal something that's deeply painful, almost as if to do some soul searching in order to heal something extremely painful. Might be at the hands of this magician in the reverse, the trickster, during December, because this almost looks... And this is the second time I've gotten this. I can't remember what sign it was for that I've already done, but might be at the hands of a shoddy magician who put an assistant in a box and said, "Watch me put all the swords in this box and alakazam peanut butter sandwiches," and then all of a sudden, you know, normally the magician opens the box. You've seen the act, right? Where then, oh, look, I cut my assistant in half and she's totally fine. No, it's a botch job, man. Yeah. So Something about playing it safe there, not being too adventurous, probably because you have some healing to do, or because this is about grief and fear and attempting to heal something extremely painful. You could also be sick. And that could be why there's a lot of avoidance of risk-taking, a lack of adventurousness during July. Oftentimes people who are super sick can't get infections and things like that, so that could also be a thing. I'm getting a little choked up right now, as if somebody is mourning. There is passionate action. It's almost as if you're on a crusade. This is fiery, passionate, inspired, creative action. It's coming from you. Remember what I said? When it goes this way, it travels from you. When it goes the other way, it's coming from, like, towards you. This is coming from you. You don't want people to know. You're taking a journey, or you're doing something of a healing nature, or mourning, or something that painful endings. You don't want other people to see. Tell me more. It's during July. I just saw the Three of Swords. It's heartbreaking. Don't sit around waiting for it, guys. It could be like anything. It could be that your favorite team loses. Or that, like, you know, some guy that you went on a date with didn't call you back. You know what I mean? But Page of Cups in the reverse. There's water sign children. A lack of communication of an emotional sense. It's like you were hoping for an apology, or you were hoping to be able to apologize to somebody. It's something small. It could be that you're sick or you're mourning. And remember what I was saying earlier about when somebody's ranting and things are rolling off their tongue super quick. You could be in pain. You could be mourning something, and in a fit of emotion, you passionately take action or fly off the handle in the heat of the moment. And then you feel like you can't apologize, or like the communication's too small, you feel like you can't say, or it's not enough. You're trying not to take too many risks. So the communication doesn't happen. The communication doesn't happen even though the action did. But there's no apologies, or you make no apologies for the action that you take during July. I'm getting like it's like a wounded person, like somebody's mad or they're hurt. It's like when you know, you have a dog and it's stepped on something or it's hurt its foot or something, and then, you know, you're playing around on the floor or whatever, and you accidentally grab that dog's wounded paw or something, and then it, you know, growls or bites you just out of like it's animal instinct, or it's like that. Or like a little apology or a little tiny expression of emotion isn't enough to respond to this and this. I don't know. I don't know why that's so, there's something here that's not good. It's not that it's not good. I don't want to be that person. There's pain or sadness here. And you need your space. During August, we have the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is somebody who, or the energy of self-reliance, independence. It's the card that succeeds that Eight of Pentacles we were talking about before during May. It's about being able to stand on your own 2 feet, being able to support oneself, being able to see the path forward that you're going to lay towards your legacy. It is the path towards your legacy. It's having the energy, the freedom to live by your own means, you know. Tell me more. For August. Yeesh. August. The animal instinct. Yeah. Self-deception. You either don't believe that you are as independent as you are in the material, energetic, or spiritual sense, or at least with something tangible, or you believe that you are, but it's like a false belief. There's self-deception there. Tell me more about that. Why? Why is there self-deception there? Could be deceiving oneself about your ability to celebrate, or you could be celebrating prematurely. Or self-deception about a celebration in and of itself. Or you could feel like you have to surround yourself with others in order, like it's like you have to surround yourself with other people in order to show up at a celebration, but you have the ability through reputation to stand on your own 2 feet, to be independent, to show up on your own, and for people to be like, yeah, you've arrived. Do you know what I mean? Self-deception about a celebration. Tell me more. And your independence within it. Here's your Cancerian card. It's in the reverse. You're not following your intuition about something. You're not respecting your ability to choose who is worthy of your cup and who isn't. Normally, a highly intuitive, emotionally intelligent individual, Queen of Cups in the reverse, would be somebody who lacks emotional intelligence, lacks the ability to trust their gut, their intuition rather, and doesn't respect their heart space or the heart space of others. I think it's more you, more yours. You turn into self-deception. Go to a party not understanding that you can be independent and that you don't need to give of your heart space. Thank you. You ever go to like, I remember when I was single, and this was before Sven passed away. I met Sven at a bar doing this. Showing up at a pub by yourself, sitting at a table by yourself, ordering a drink by yourself, having a meal by yourself, you know, and being able to do that quite successfully. There is nothing that... And being able to go home by yourself, not leaving with somebody, you know? And that's like a whole thing. That reminded me of that. It was just that you don't always need to go home with somebody. It's not a self-deception. You can go to the party on your own. You can go to the party. I don't know, I can't get it. September is 7 of Wands in the reverse. Letting your guard down, really. This is defensive energy normally. Protecting yourself from all those people who are ready to stab that guy with sticks because they're the lynch mob. But in the reverse, it's somebody who doesn't feel the need to have their guard up so much. And not feeling the need to protect oneself or be so trepidatious of other individuals. September. We're almost there, guys, I promise. Sasmar. Why do you feel you can finally let your guard down? What's more about that? The animal instinct. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Lack of fairness, injustice, equilibrium, deception as opposed to truth. Imbalance. You let your guard down because you didn't feel it was fair to others. You weren't giving people the benefit of the doubt. Because that's not being fair to others. Didn't feel, it's almost like projection, like you were projecting the past hurts of other people. It's like, you ever hear that saying, you don't heal what cut you, you'll bleed on other people? That's that right there. Look at the sword. It's got blood dripping off of it, see? See the blood dripping off of her sword? If you don't heal what cut you, you'll bleed on other people. And that's not fair to them. It's not fair to them. So don't be so, like, during September, there's a realization that you don't necessarily have to be as defensive or on guard. So you're letting your guard down. That's more. That's more during September 2025 for Pisces. That's card vomit. This isn't. Magician, because it's like I said, just because in December you see somebody who puts up a front and you know they're being dishonest and they're not being authentic and they have a lack of connectedness with the self, doesn't mean that you're not eventually, and probably during September of 2025, going to encounter somebody who does have the power of manifestation because they are connected with the self. They've mastered the self, and therefore they can master the elements. Gemini energy. Earth sign strong here. We have Libra and Gemini, actually. But it's somebody who makes things happen. When they say when they say they'll do something, they do it. They make good on their promises. They make things happen. Not just say they're going to. There's more. Anything else for Pisces? Okay. The Nine of Pentacles. They're independent. There's independence there. It's an independent individual. They rely on themselves. They might be a little mysterious also. That mask there really drew me in. A mask might really draw you into. They might be a little mysterious to you, and that might actually intrigue you how enigmatic they are. But you can see there's somebody who is independent and has a path towards legacy. They make things happen for themselves. And you don't think it's fair to treat this person as if they're like the Magician in reverse from December. During October, though, let's get this show on the road because I want to go watch my show and go lay in bed probably. I really feel like having a coffee, but it's really late. October, we have the Eight of Cups. October 2025, we have the Eight of Cups in the upright. Looks a little like a Mary Poppins energy there. It's somebody floating away, but traditionally it's somebody choosing to walk away from what would have typically emotionally served them in search of love of the self. Because when somebody loves themselves, and I don't mean like, oh, I can put on a face mask today and I can, you know, have a bubble bath and do my nails and, you know, meditate a little bit and, ooh, self-love. No, I mean like somebody who really understands their true worthiness. That's the Nine of Cups. Because when you understand your true worthiness, when you have left something that you believe could be good, could be okay, yeah, in search of your true worthiness, and when you realize your true worthiness and you can demand the absolute zenith of emotional fulfillment for yourself and the absolute zenith of a connection with another human being. When you're in perfect relationship with yourself, you can be in perfect relationship with another human being. You know? And don't romanticize those former connections that you've had, because nostalgia has amnesia. It's not like, you know, when you know, you know, when you don't, you also know. You're avoiding and acknowledging it. Let's talk about our Eight of Cups here a little bit. What are you walking away from that you typically would believe would have emotionally served you? Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship either, guys. It can be a friendship. It could be a family member. But you're like, sorry, peace out, bitches. Sorry, I get a little funny at night. Probably not really funny to you. Probably just want to go as well, but you know. Ah, yeah, you're ending something. You're ending something. You're squashing some fucker under your big horse foot. And it's Scorpio energy, by the way, there. It's going to be happening during the latter half of October. You're going to choose to end something so that new things can make their way into your life. Or you could be transforming something, but I really feel like it's going to be that you're leaving something behind. Something is no longer serving you, and you are therefore letting it go because you understand your worth. Ain't no two ways about that. You're leaving those cups behind you, and you're walking away. Tell us more. Tell us more. Come on, Pisces. 2 more cards. Come on. Somebody who is ungrateful. They're ungrateful. Or they're pessimistic also. They don't know how to focus on anything but what's spilt. And they're very ungrateful for the things that you may have done for them in the past, or for your company, or for your ability to, I don't know, make them laugh, or just for your presence and the things that you, the human being that you are, who effing knows. There's something there about ingratitude, though. Normally it would be expressing gratitude for what one has, or the need to express gratitude for what one has. But here it's like you realize that you have gratitude for certain things and somebody else doesn't. You're ending it because you do have gratitude for some things in life, and you'd like to encounter more of that. I'm just hearing right now also something else from like some of this daring greatly crap. It's how if you experience foreboding joy, the best thing to do is practice gratitude, right? You'll have to look that up. It's too late and I'm too tired to do that any longer. I gotta be up early. This girl is up early for work, but like 5 a.m. early. But yeah, a lack of gratitude. Somebody who is so busy focusing on those three, it's almost like yeah. What else? I'm sick of being around people who aren't grateful for anything. People have a pessimistic, negative ass attitude. Leave a sour taste in your mouth. People who complain all the time. You ever notice how people who all they do is bitch and complain all the time about everything that's going wrong in their life? Remember I talked about shitty life syndrome? People like that? Yeah. Tell me more. Everything's always going wrong for them. Everything's always terrible and nothing ever works out. They don't ever have anything to talk about that they're happy about or grateful for. And you could also be just letting things go. Not even people. You could just be letting things go so that you can move on and practice more gratitude in your own daily life. Letting certain energies and feelings go. Letting that attitude go in and of itself for yourself. It's just walking away from something that no longer serves you so that you can practice more, looking at your own worthiness. You know what I mean? Don't you deserve to have things to be grateful for? Yeah, because there's a lack of imbalance. Okay. Yeah, okay, look at this. Libra energy. So, look at this. What does that look like to you? Look at it in reverse. Being the charity or the charitable, somebody's not grateful for what you've done for them, probably on the material plane. Could be also the energy and the time that you've spent on them. Remember, Pentacles are anything we spend. We spend our energy, our time, our money, and our spiritual focus on people. Dare I say it, there I said it. I'm sorry. But the things you spend on people are what Pentacles are. That's a great way to remember it, by the way. But yeah, it's somebody who you've either given a lot to, or spent a lot of time on, or spent a lot of time with, or spent a lot of energy on. They seem really draining. If it's not a person, it's a feeling, an energy, something that you need to let go of because you're wasting your time on it. You've spent too much time attached to it. You've given too much to it. It's time to let it go so that new things can make their way into your life. Bottom of the deck, the Emperor. And you know what? October, generally speaking, is a season of letting go. That's what Samhain is about. Letting go so that new can come in. That's what the season is about. The Emperor, leadership energy, Aries energy. Having the devil under the foot. But also that confident leadership energy, the person who rules with a firm hand, understands how to call the shots, not let the shots call him, but does so from a dominant, not domineering space. That is what you need. Take control. Take control of your life, but don't be controlling. It's a delicate balance, isn't it? That's what I got for you, Pisces. Holy shit. That was a long reading. Next reading that I have will not be as long. It will be, I'm going to do something. I made a spread called The Lover's Path. It's the only thing about it that's even close to the tarot deck that I got a couple of weeks or months ago, is the fact that they're both named the same thing. But I'm going to do that, and it'll probably be a 30-minute read at the most, which I'm happy about. But I hope you like this. I hope it worked out for you. Let me know all of your thoughts, feelings, and be safe. Happy Halloween, and we'll see you when we see you next, okay? I'm out of here. Okay, bye.